Hello there. Today I want to look at this, an Oki-Data Oki-Mate 20. The actual full model number is Oki-Data EN3211. This is a printer that I picked up kind of recently because it's a thermal printer, and that means that it could take a absolutely ridiculously massive cartridge. I've never seen a printer cartridge that enormous. This is kind of hilarious. This is a printer cartridge the size of an 8-track. That's just crazy. But we don't actually need that because we should be able to use, and I think there was some left in there, thermal paper, which means that the print head just gets hot and then thermally dot matrix prints onto the paper. But I don't know if this thing works. I bought this at Goodwill and I haven't tested it. So today we're just going to check out if this thing works, see if it's going to be suitable for supporter printouts, and maybe try and clean it up a little bit. I've got some stuff to try and get the grease pen and sticker residue off. Speaking of which, let's peel the Goodwill sticker off because I'd rather have the thing than the $7 back. It's never going back. There we go. So let's first off give it power and see if it comes to life at all. I think there was a big old power switch over there, which, you know, this is gonna sound really weird. I've been trying to find a source for these kinds of vintage power switches that have like a really narrow body, but then are really long so that they're extremely rectangular. I'm trying to repair a Sony SMC70 right now, and I had to pilfer a switch like that from the battery module that it came with to put into the power supply that it did not come with. There is power, and that's a good sign. Okay. So ready light blinking, I guess, means that it does not have paper. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to set the dark slider to medium for now. Okay, so for thermal paper for something like this, you can actually pick up old fax machine rolls. Makes them extremely easy to use. The one thing you want to be aware of is that you do not want to run this glue strip through. So I'm going to have to cut like a full loop of paper off of this thing before we can actually use it. All right, and if you're not familiar with thermal paper, just to give you an idea, if I take just my fingernail and scratch on this, you'll see that it leaves a black line because I heated up just that section from the friction. So you can absolutely just write on a sheet of paper like this. So the print head on this will get hot, and then it should print on there itself. Can I pull this off? Yeah, let's just do that for now. Now, unfortunately, I don't think this is actually intended for use with thermal paper rolls like this, so there's no like holder or something back here. It would be kind of cool to maybe make a wire rack that could hold it, but for now I don't have that. All right, so this I think is the right side of the paper. Now, one thing about this that I like so far is that it has an actual platen control, and am I seeing? No, there's no. This doesn't support tractor paper too, does it? There's little nubs down there. I guess it might. That's kind of awesome. Anyway, with the friction rollers that are in the middle though, we should be able to pull this up. Now, yes, over here we have the ability to release the platen lock, and then we can put that down. Okay. The ready light has gone away, and that's because I turned it off. Okay, so now I'll turn it back on. Okay. I can see I kind of munched the paper along the left edge there, so that's not ideal. I got a little close to the tractor nubs. Now, using this thing. This is an LPT printer, by the looks of it. I have a kind of annoying LPT adapter solution. So this is a Sabrent USB LPT adapter, and I'm just going to plug this into this DB25 to parallel port adapter. I don't remember why I settled on this solution here. I think it's just because this is the USB device that always actually works for printing. Okay, so in theory, should be able to turn this on. Okay. And we should be connected. That's good. That's what I would expect. So when this thing properly initializes, it usually activates multiple times like that. Okay, I have this connected to my Linux computer, and I'm just going to echo out a line of text. You know what? A line of text. And I am piping this out to the printer. So let's see if this works. Beautiful. Okay, that looks fantastic. Okay. Yes, that is exactly what I was hoping to see here. Okay, so if I do this again. Thermal printers are so ridiculously quiet. They are awesome. All right, so now the real reason that something like this is going to be helpful. I want this as a backup printer to have here at home for when I am printing out my supporter hard copies. So let's see what that looks like here being printed out on this, because sometimes the ThinkJet is not the most cooperative printer. I forgot I had this set up for terminal still. Whoops. Why did the friction wheel stop working, though? Oh, it doesn't have enough strength to pull the roll. Okay, well, I'll be able to fix that. Oh, it is, it's not fast. Holy moly. I had not anticipated that. Wow, it is, it's extremely slow. Wow. Looks fantastic, though. That's one benefit to thermal printers like this. The print intensity is really, really good. That does not seem like... Yeah, okay. I'm going to try changing the dark amount, too. That did nothing. Is that even doing anything? I don't know. I'm just going to leave it at center. I don't think I can be much happier right now, though. That looks fantastic. Other than the speed. The speed's not amazing, but I usually have to speed up the printout anyway. It's basically only the deck writer that prints fast enough. I still don't trust that it's actually done. Yeah. To be clear, I'm pretty sure the reason it's pausing is because I last had the printout software configured to print to the Televideo 950, which has control codes to, like, pause the display and then continue. Apparently this is somewhat supporting those. So that's why it's behaving like that. Interestingly, I don't think a ThinkJet actually did the pauses. Okay, I think it's real this time. All right. Well, I am very happy with that result. So I think let's go ahead and clean this up a little bit. Get the Goodwill price pen mark. Get some of these random scuffs off. It's not going to ever be as good as it is in there, but we can make this better at least. So first, unfortunately, the only real way to free up the paper is to cut it off. But then I can just release this and pull it back. We might investigate a method for supporting this as well. We'll see if I can come up with something for that. Not too sure. Yeah, very happy with this so far. Okay, let's try and do some cleaning. So I've got some hand sanitizer here because this is mostly alcohol. And this does not work the best on the grease pen, but it at least gets it somewhat knocked down. Yeah, I hate the stupid Goodwill grease pens. Oh my gosh. There's like never a good solution for it. Ultimately, I'm going to end up using a melamine sponge magic eraser, but that's going to permanently stain this, which sucks. I'd like to get as much of it into the paper towel as I can for now. If I could get this door off. Oh, I think I can. So it pinches over these hinges. Oh, it's whether or not I trust the plastic to not explode, though, and I'm not going to trust the plastic to stay intact. So just continue on. Trying to avoid getting this on the window, though, because it would be way harder to clean. Yeah, long story short, if you ever see anyone with the red lettering like this on their stuff, I really don't blame them for leaving it on there because it sucks to get off. Goodwill does this so you can't just rip off that price sticker. This is the letter code that also represents the price. That's why they do it, but still sucks. What really sucks is when they write this on like a paper label or something that's part of the product. Like on the front of a big box game. Just can't get it off then. Okay, I think that's down enough. I can use the melamine. Yeah, much more effective, but now that is just red forever. So, like I said, I wanted to get the bulk of it off without that. Wow. The difference between the spot I have not yet cleaned. Holy moly. I'm not sure what's on here, but the hand sanitizer actually seems to be pretty effective, so I'm going to keep with that. Oh, you know what was effective? The melamine sponge. Who would have guessed? That's what was effective. Okay, well, in that case, I'm going to try and wipe it off a little bit. Yeah, that made a huge difference on the label there. Oh my gosh, the plate looks so good now. Holy moly. That's pretty. All right, this is just water. Wow. Really didn't look that bad. I will not be powering this up again today so that any like little tiny drops of water that get in places have a chance to dry. Shouldn't be too bad, but just to be safe. Yeah, see, the red comes off of that corner now. I'm not going to go to town trying to get off every little nick on here. So for the most part, you're not going to see that. It would be fun to try and find one of these original massive cartridges, though. Yeah, this thing was way dirtier than I thought it was. The surface was just completely coated. Oh my gosh. Door. Which, if I put the door on, actually... Wow! Let's see how close the door gets after cleaning, because good grief. I think some of whatever was on that back corner is also on the door here. Really, really hard to get off. Okay, there's some kind of staining on this. There's like a texture in there that I can't seem to be able to do anything with. So I don't think I'm ever going to get this thing fully clean. I also don't have a great cleaning product for... Oh, that's just sticky, whatever that is. For the acrylic piece. I'm not going to touch that yet. Now let's put this back on there. It's better, but this is aged differently, clearly. That's kind of weird. Wow, that looks so much better, though. Holy moly. It's a little bit of a shame about that part. I'm half tempted to just remove it, though. Because I might be able to use this for something to hold the paper back there. I have a bad idea. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I was attempting to find a metal coat hanger that I could cut into a shape to be able to hold the paper roll up there so it wouldn't catch on the ground, but apparently I've depleted my stash of those from weird projects like this. However, I did look this up because I was curious, you know, was there maybe a version of this lid that just had that? Because I was thinking maybe I could also 3D print one that holds this back there. Apparently, the cartridge for this allows it to print in color. So I did not know that that was a thing. I don't think I've ever seen a color thermal printer before. That's kind of ridiculous. So I think I'm going to make this a to be continued video. In the future, if I can track down a color cartridge and maybe I can 3D print a part to hold the paper up that kind of replaces this lid. So basically model this whole portion, but then have like a little spoiler, like it's a hot rod that sticks out that just holds the paper up. That would be pretty sweet. Because that'll work better for my wanting to print out supporter printouts on here, because having it just be on a roll that's like ready to go is really nice. The biggest problem I have with the supporter printout stuff is that I generally leave the ThinkJet set up and it's in front of that little metal stand thing, which is a printer stand, but the ThinkJet doesn't feed from the bottom, so I can't have the paper under it. So I have the paper behind it and it has to pull it. It's basically the same problem as this, actually, where the paper, there's no good way of storing the paper to feed into the ThinkJet and it like crinkles and it's a huge issue. This paper storage, if I can integrate the paper storage, heck, even if I just have the roll somehow stored flush against the back, that might actually be even better. Yeah, there's a couple of different ways that I could approach this. So maybe I can come up with some kind of solution that mounts it to the back like that, and then just keep it up off of the table so that it doesn't have the friction, and then it'll be way easier to do the supporter printouts. I'm not saying I'm always going to print them on this. It just depends where I'm at and when I remember to do the supporter printouts. If I am at home editing and I forgot to film it for the video, then yeah, something like this will be the way to do it. But yeah, for now though, this thing's kind of awesome. Really, really glad that I picked this up from Goodwill, because yeah, these don't appear to be all that expensive on eBay either. So if this seems like an interesting printer to you, yeah, it might be worth checking out. It was apparently also branded as a Commodore and maybe Atari. So I think there's a couple of them out there to pick from. But yeah, hopefully that was an interesting little quick refurb, kind of clean and showcase there of the Oki-Data Oki-Mate 20.